Hello there, and welcome to Find Your Voice. My name is Joe Crammond, and I'm the host of today's show. Today, we have a very special guest, Pete Mohr. He's helping business owners create turnkey businesses that give them more freedom. He's a business coach and a public speaker as well. Welcome, Pete. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's fantastic to be here with you, Joe. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem at all. Whereabouts are you based?
I am based about an hour outside of Toronto in a beautiful small town called Elora.
Very nice. Very, very nice. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about you and about some of the things that challenges you may have faced, and just to learn a little bit more about what you do as well. So we'll start off with a quick fire sort of question round. And when you're ready to go, we'll get going.
I'm ready.
Perfect. Okay, as Pete. So if you had a business card, a bit old school, but what would it say?
It does say helping business owners through from transitioning. I got to actually think about what I put on it now, because I don't use business cards much anymore. It's all digital, but I still do one, and it says helping a business transition from operator to owner. Yeah.
Perfect. So so give us a bit of a summary on how you do that. So what's that business model?
Yeah. Well, geez, I mean, there's a lot there, and a lot of so I've been a business owner since 1994, like formally. I had other small businesses before that, but on a full-time basis since 1994. I had all kinds of other businesses along the way. Still own a couple of shoe stores, and spend most of my days these days with Simplifying Entrepreneurship, helping other business owners through their frustrations. I say turning their frustrations into freedoms. And with this idea of going from operator to owner, I think, I've done this. I work about a day a week or so in my shoe stores, and I spend the rest of the time helping others. And, I love this idea around, well, it really boils down to, if you've been at business for a while, and this is what we see so many times, been at it for a while, 3, 5, sometimes 10 years. And you had these dreams when you got into business, right, Joe? And those dreams, I had I'm going to have a better life. I'm going to travel. I'm going to do different things. I'm going to work the way I want to work, all of those kind of things. But what happens is we get mired down in the day-to-day decision-making in our businesses, and it becomes habitualized in our lives and the way we work in our business, and never really seem to get out of it until we're looking back after all of these years and saying, I'm still working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and this isn't maybe what I was dreaming of.
I completely get it. It's in some ways, it's like you leave the hamster wheel of the 9 to 5 to build your own big hamster wheel, but it's like, it's then a hamster wheel of 7 till 10 at night,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So many of the clients that I work with are in that situation. I've been in that situation, and I've created all sorts of frameworks to change that, to get your thinking out of that mindset. So I call it from operator to owner. And from that side of things, I've got a 5P framework and 7Fs and all these different frameworks that we sort of overlay onto your life as a business owner and overlay onto your business, so that we can pull you through to then become in a situation where you're actually working on your business more than you're working in it, and set up the frameworks and accountabilities. And I've come up with a new one this year, which is all around what I call earning your CPA, which is not your chartered professional accountant. It's really mastering communication, process, and accountability within your business. And when you start doing that, it allows you the freedom to move from operator to owner.
That sounds great. That's really interesting. But at the end of this, we're going to learn where we can find more information about you as well, John. So we'll be able to that would be perfect. So why on paper then should you have never been successful? So what in the past sort of challenges you may have faced when you were younger?
I've been fortunate. There hasn't been a lot of things why I should never have been successful along the way. I grew up in a family that fostered entrepreneurism. And I grew up in this way. I put myself through school. I've got a couple of business degrees. So I understand the philosophies around that sort of stuff. But on paper, I mean, I don't know that I do have paper behind my name, like with business degrees, but even then, if I'm flipping it back to somebody listening to the show, I don't think that matters.
No.
It helps. If you're going to be an accountant, or if you really want to understand the finance side of things instead of hiring somebody to understand the finance side of things, you need that information. And I think a lot of those things help. But is it necessary to do that kind of stuff these days? No, I don't. There's a ton of information out there. There's a ton of coaches. There's a ton of all sorts of stuff that you need to make whatever business you're doing and interested in a success, and including
Yeah.
yourself as a success as the business owner. So from that perspective, I think that you make your own way along the way here.
Exactly. Yeah. The school of life, as they say, definitely. Okay. Well, going back to the school side of things then, so sort of 10 of your old schoolmates, if they were
Yeah.
to describe you back then, how would they describe you?
Well, I think, it's been a long time since I've been in school. I don't have a whole lot of hair left. But I kind of go back, and I think, if I go back to high school, I would think that they would say, I was usually a leader of my teams. I was involved, I think, is a good way. I always had a different outlook on things. I often had more of a positive spin than a negative one. Always kind of looking for the positive in any sort of event. When I go into university, I would say that most of the people, when I was going through university, knew I was going to be a independent business owner as opposed to get into that corporate world. So I've always sort of veered that way. And a lot
People
of
come to
people,
you for advice, would you say? Sorry to interrupt. They came to you
yeah,
for advice, and that, yeah, that you were the kind of kid that could advise on getting the homework done the right way, or making sure they
yeah, and
behaved.
I think that's, it was a natural fit for me when I decided to become a coach too, because people were always coming to me for advice anyway. From that perspective, and a lot of my friends, my business friends and other friends, it's just one of those things where, I seem to always have an ear for people, and want to help them succeed and grow and all that sort of stuff, and
That's
willing to
great.
share some insight.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. So, when was the last time you did something that scared you?
Oh, I don't go out on a limb that much from that perspective, but um, I don't get scared that easy. I like to try new stuff. We were in Florida last month for the month, and one of the things I like bucket list things,
Mm,
and one of my bucket list things that I did last month was get on an airboat, which was pretty cool with a big fan in the back and spinning
mm,
around and going through all the different things. And the guy was going at pretty good speeds, and taking us on a good little journey. So that was fun, and I think more, I would say, thrilling than scaring,
mm.
or scared. But I like the thrill of things more than I like to be scared. I'm not a big fan of being, startled and stuff like that, but I like to be thrilled.
What's your view on taking risks in life in general, or even in business?
Well, I mean, taking risks is a necessity within business, and I think as you gain confidence and gain experience and help, look for the right information. I think the biggest thing on taking risks is that you're taking as educated a risk as you can, as opposed to just taking a risk. So,
Mm,
doing your homework, all of that stuff along the way to help you make that decision. Because to me, being a business owner is all about making the right decision every day. So I'm in the process of writing a book, and I think the book is probably going to be called Decide Already, because
mm.
decisions are the biggest thing that we do in our business. And I think from that perspective, decision making should always be made at the lowest possible level of your business, and that's a framework in itself.
Do you help people with not making decisions based on emotions? Because a lot of emotions can get involved when it comes to, especially starting up a business, because you're trying to get those deals over the line, or you've got people that are,
Yeah.
causing problems. The first a handful of clients that people have. So, do you have strategies in place to be able to
Yeah.
help business owners
Yeah.
calm down and be a bit more patient, I guess, on that journey?
I love using frameworks, and I think the biggest thing for me is really let's put whatever thoughts we have into a framework so that it spits out sort of a better idea and a better way to look at things. And so I've got lots of different frameworks for different situations, that it's like, if we do this, this, and this, maybe we'll get the, because most business owners are sort of, I'll call it squirrel brained, where it's like, woohoo, I got this idea and this idea and this idea. And
Yeah.
I'm one of those people too. So I've had to create these frameworks to make everything that's going on in my head come out properly. And I
Mm.
share those with a lot of the clients that I work with. And it seems to work fairly well. It's like, hey, listen, if we take this idea and move it through this framework, we're going to come out with a better decision-making possibility here.
Yeah, exactly. That's really good advice. So when it comes to technology, then, is there anything that's making you nervous at the moment? Because obviously there's a lot of, well, AI is one of the things
Oh
that
gosh,
is a
yeah.
big topic at the moment. So
I'm
is
all
anything?
in. I mean, I just
Yeah,
ran 2
same.
courses on ChatGPT in the last month for a lot
Right.
of my clients, and I love some of the stuff. I'm not a techno geek, but I love the ideas of and the outputs that some of this stuff can do. So I
Mm.
don't need to know how to code everything. I'm not interested in all that, but I'm totally interested in adopting technologies that are going to advance me. I mean, ChatGPT is the big one these days, and it's here to stay. It will probably be developed and morphed like everything else is, but at the same time, if and we're talking to you, the listener here, if you haven't dug into some of these things, it's time because it's going to be the future, and you need to start working on some of this stuff so that you can actually understand it as it becomes adopted by more and more people. And I look at that for almost every technology. I'm always digging into different technologies to see if it can help me through. I like to save time. I like to save energy. I want
Yes,
more of my
exactly.
time back. So that, and that's, if it's going to give me more or any of my team more of their time back, that's a win.
Do you think there's something about Chat GTP that can enhance what you offer as a coach? Do you think that there's a way you can work with AI to actually benefit your clients potentially?
I work with it every day.
Mm.
I mean, I literally I've already used ChatGPT today.
Mm.
So, I'm using it every day on my daily basis. And that's what I teach when I've done my workshops is how you can use it in your business. It is applicable to every single business, whether you're writing a job description, writing an advertisement, going, getting ideas for social posts. I mean, it
Mm.
just does so many. Here's what ChatGPT in particular does. It starts you off.
Yeah, exactly.
And most of the frustrations that business owners have and everything is not actually, and the procrastination that we have is
Mm.
because we don't know where to start. So if you can type something in ChatGPT, and by the way, prompts, it's all about the prompt of how you
Mhm.
use it. But if you're working through it and understand prompting, then it's really this idea of if you get the right prompts, you can tweak this thing so that it's going to spit back probably 70 or 80% of what you need to get through whatever it is you're looking at. And isn't
Exactly.
that a great start
It
as
it is,
opposed
and
to
then
being,
your brain is then fine-tuning the rest, and you're thinking as
yeah,
you're going, so it's really important and interesting stuff. I
so
mean,
good. It's so
so
good.
so I've got a question for you then. For a
Yeah.
$10,000 bet, what can you confidently do better than Chat GPT?
Better?
Better,
Well,
yeah, this is
ChatGPT is a great tool, but it doesn't have the human side of
mhm,
things. I mean, it can pull any information off the internet or wherever the case is, but it's still not one of these things that can put things together and think like a person can. Like somebody that's had unique individual experiences along the way, that's
mhm,
had sort of a combination of all of these different things, not just the combination as it's written on the internet, but the combination as it's been lived. And I think that's a piece that, like I said, when we first kind of got going, I've been at this since 1994, coming up on 30 years as a full-time business owner. And I've seen and done a lot of things along the way.
mm,
And what my clients, what I want to take my clients through is, hey, I've had a lot of failure too. And I don't want that for them. So, ChatGPT doesn't know that.
no,
And so
exactly.
I can use my own personal experiences of the wins, what I call turning your worries and wants into wins. So, what are you worried about? What do you want out of your business and out of your life? And let's turn them into wins. And by that, where I'm sharing the different things that I've experienced along the way. And yeah, will we use ChatGPT to pull in some other stuff too? For
Mhm,
sure. It's a tool, it's
mhm.
not a replacement.
No, exactly. Exactly. That's a very good point. Um, So your 20-year-old self is watching the show right now. What would you advise them?
I've got 3 20-year-old boys, and if you're looking at being a business owner, and we'll take it with that lens, let's say, um, there's nothing better than being in business for yourself. You're going to, for those that want to, and let's keep in mind that only about 7% of people out there are business owners. So, but if it's for you, you got to try it. It's like dig in and take it on. It's one of those things that until you actually try something and work through some of the trials and tribulations, one of the things I would say is hire a mentor or find a mentor. Most people that have been at this for a while, or they're business owners and everything, want to see new people do well. They want to see them succeed. They want to see them, grow, and they don't want to see them experience some of the pains that they've been put through over their careers. So they're happy to help. Like, go out and find somebody in the industry that you're interested in and ask them. And this is the hardest thing for young people. Ask them for help.
Yeah. Exactly. That's great advice. Really great advice. So, final question then, John. We'll have to wrap this up soon. So, what 3 words will be written on your epitaph? So, how would you want to be remembered by? The 3 words, would you say?
Family man, business owner, community leader.
Perfect. That's really good. Wonderful. Well, it's been great chatting to you, and I had a wonderful time. And where do we find more about you? Give us more information on website or any sort of social links.
Yeah, for sure. If you type in Pete Mohr, Mohr, you'll find me for sure. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, all those different places. Best way is on LinkedIn, like you started off. And the other way really is to slide on over to my website, Simplifying Entrepreneurship, which is the name of my business.com.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, Pete, it's been great chatting to you. I really appreciate your time. And for any of our guests or any of our audience watching, if you wish to be on podcasts and you wish to tell your story as a thought leader, visit us at podcastguesting.pro and we'll get in touch and hopefully we can get you telling your story and learn more about you. And Pete, it's been wonderful. And thank you very much for your time. And take care, everybody.
Make it a great day.
Cheers. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.